Any place. I used to go with a bunch of cops out to the Shea Stadium back in whenever it was to see the Jets, and that's all we do. We get drunk in a parking lot and screaming and hollering at everybody, starting fights. And when about halfway through the game, I'd pass out, and it was a nightmare.
That sounds like a great time. I wish I was there for those days.
You know, MSNBC has just flashed on my screen. It looks like there is a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
We got Warner on the phone, who's looking at it right now.
Warner,
Hi, man.
what's the deal?
Something hit the World Trade Center. I think it was a plane. I heard it right over my head, and the explosion rocked the building.
Really?
And I'm looking at it right now. The smoke is just bellowing out of the World Trade Center. I mean, it's horrible. You can see the fire. You can see the smoke. I mean, it's a monster hole. You know, the World Trade Center, there's the Twin Towers, it's the one on the right.
Right.
And it is, I mean, it's horrible. It is terrible. It's just black smoke, and on the left you can see the fire.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's
I can see it on MSNBC here.
the whole top of the building.
There's a plane. Well, it looks like there is smoke coming from the side of the building. Oh, my God. It looks like something flew into the building.
Yeah, I heard it. Went right overhead. I was laying in bed, and I said, boy, that plane sounds low. And then, boom, I mean, it was like a bomb. This is horrible. This is a disaster. Jeez, though, I'm looking at maybe, I hope because of the time, maybe there aren't that many people there. But, that, God's sakes, that's a busy thing. Oh, man. This is terrible. I can't believe I'm looking at this. It's like you're looking at a movie or something, but I'm looking at it live. It's right in front of me because that's where I live. I'm looking out my bedroom window. Oh man, the smoke is just coming out of the top.
You can see it. It's a huge. The whole.
Oh man, and the
whole top of the building is engulfed in smoke.
Oh, this is.
And then there's smoke pouring out of the side of the building, in which obviously something has flown into the side. Do we have any other information, Mark, from anybody?
Not yet. We're waiting. Warner's got actually the breaking news here.
Yeah, I think it was a plane. I heard it. I heard the plane. I heard. I said. My wife was close. Man, that sounds awful low. And then boom. I mean, when an explosion rocks your building, I'd say we're about 7 blocks away.
No.
And I'm looking right at it. Oh man.
The hole looks like it covers a few floors.
Yeah, and I mean the width. You're talking about the whole side.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The hole nearly covers the entire side.
Yes.
Encompasses the entire side of the World Trade Center. Which building is it? Is it the one with the observation deck or the other one?
It's the taller one, the one on the right.
Right.
Of course, depending if you're looking right to left, but it's the one that has the huge tower on top. I think that's the TV towers.
Right.
And gosh, you see people on the rooftops looking, and downtown Tribeca. You can. Oh, this is God's sakes! This is terrible.
Yeah, that really is that's an awful sight just to look at it.
Oh man.
Early report here that it was some sort of that it was a twin-engine plane that flew right into the trade center, but no word on if it was a commercial or private or what.
God. Oh. I don't think I've never seen anything like this.
Can we pick up whatever live thing they have on MSNBC? Oh, they're not. All we have are this. But now there's smoke pouring out of one where apparently the hole went into the side of the building, but then it looks as though there's fire now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see any flames, but there's such an enormous amount of smoke that obviously there's fire.
It's the side facing north. If you were coming uptown,
Right.
That's the north side. God's sakes. I'd say the only thing positive about it is that if you were under it, if people in the building, of course, I don't think you can use any elevators or anything like that, but I guess they can walk down. But anything from that explosion and up, you can't get out.
No.
God.
We got a feed here. Let's see what we can
But you
hear.
couldn't tell much more from 14th Street.
Now, we had an earlier eyewitness that told us he thought it appeared to be a 737. What you saw was a small, perhaps twin-engine airplane?
No, not a twin engine. It was a jet of medium to smallish proportions. Not a big airliner, though.
Okay. Okay, so it appeared to be a... And you heard this sound. I'm just trying to understand what happened. You heard a sound. That's what compelled you to look up into the sky.
You could hear a jet coming overhead, and it sounded low, so many of us looked up to see what was, because it sounded so close. We all looked up. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it didn't look like it was swerving or out of control. It was going steadily lower. It was, definitely going steadily lower, but it wasn't dropping like nose first or anything that would make you think that the plane was in trouble.
Right. Which then, of course, raises the question exactly what was that airplane doing and how did this occur?
Right.
But the airplane did not appear to be in trouble to you.
I don't know enough about airplanes to know what it should look like, but it wasn't nose down or it wasn't swerving up and down or left and right. It was making a straight, steady decline towards the World Trade Center.
Mary, I'm hearing what sounds to be an awful lot of people that are either crying or sobbing or something in the background.
That's my baby wondering why I'm still standing here, but there are a lot of us who are shaking or
idiots.
There's a special excitement about being a part of history.
Reggie Jackson hit his third home run of the game.
Swung on a Josie to right. There it goes. That ball is gone. A grand slam for Tito Martinez. And there's no place more exciting than Yankee Stadium. Don't miss the action as the defending world champion Yankees meet the Chicago White Sox in 3 big games chock full of promotional giveaways. The series begins on Tuesday, September 11th at 7:05. The following night, also a 7:05 start, is Cole's Yankees Business Card Holder Night for the first 25,000 fans 21 and over. The series concludes at 7:05 on Thursday, September 13th. That night, the first 25,000 fans 21 and over receive a Yankees travel mug courtesy of Chock full of Nuts. For tickets, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 212-307-1212. That's 212-307-1212.
Hi, this is Ben Benson. I have always been an aficionado of the classic New York Steakhouse. It was terrific when I got the opportunity to do one myself. What we do is buy the finest food and prepare it very, very simply. And that's been my motto, buy the best. Prepare it simply, and your customers will appreciate it. It's funny, people will say to me, how come your cream spinach is so great? Because the classic steakhouse meal is the sirloin steak, the hash browns, and the cream spinach. I'm a little bit nutty about making sure that the consistency is there. And that's something you will only get in a restaurant that has an owner on premises. We have gotten some intensely favorable critical praise. My favorite one of all appeared in Gourmet Magazine. After raving about our superb cuts of meat, they referred to Ben Benson's as a true treasure in New York. Ben Benson's Steakhouse, 123 West 52nd Street, 212-581-8888. And when you're in, come over and say hello to me.
Listen. That's what you sound like.
Dr. Gene Wagner talks about nighttime teeth grinding.
Aside from being a turnoff for the person you sleep with, it can cause tooth loosening, even tooth loss. That's why I created a dental protector to cushion your teeth. It's called the Doctor's Night Guard. Because you fit it yourself, you'll save money. More importantly, you'll protect your teeth. It might even help your sex life.
The Doctor's Night Guard. Relieve the nightly grind.
The day has ended. Amber skies blend to twilight blue. The world softens a bit around the edges, and you release all the cares of the day. Now is the time for Bella Sera wine. Bella Sera Pinot Grigio from Italy. Pour a glass, relax. It's going to be a beautiful evening. Or as they say in Italian, it's going to be a Bella Sera. Imported by Villa de Bella Sera, Healdsburg, California.
Right, yes. Hey, the Ovaltine man. Yeah.
No kid can resist the taste of rich chocolate Ovaltine.
This is so good and chocolatey. This is great chocolate milk. Is it Nesquik? Get real. It's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
Kids love Ovaltine's rich chocolate taste. And Ovaltine adds vitamins and minerals that Nesquik powder doesn't. So why give them Nesquik? when you can give them more. And there are more vitamins and minerals in Ovaltine.
Ovaltine rocks!
Imus! This is a healthcare update from Hackensack University Medical Center. There's currently a blood shortage here in the metropolitan area. My guest is Kathleen Riley, Administrative Director of Pathology at Hackensack University Medical Center. Kathy, what can people in the audience do to help?
They can roll up their sleeves and donate, either at Hackensack University Medical Center's blood donor service or at their local blood bank.
A lot of people are afraid of donating blood. They fear danger or pain.
There's only a little pinch in the arm, and the entire system that we use for collecting the blood is sterile and single-use.
If you want more information about donating blood, call your local blood bank, your local hospital, and if you're interested in doing it at Hackensack University Medical Center, you can call 201-996-4818. That's 996-4818. Do the right thing. Give the gift of life. Give blood. This has been a healthcare update from Hackensack University Medical Center. We're with you for life.
WFAN New York.
CBS Tonight. Feel the rhythm. Experience the passion and the heat. The Latin Grammy Awards live. It's the Grammys with a twist. CBS Tonight.
Tourno, the world's largest watch store since 1900, poses the question, what does your watch say about you?
At the Spitfire clause for altitude, the pilot checks my watch face. I am the Mark 15 Spitfire watch from Tourneau of the IWC's pilot line, commemorating the Royal Air Force's most famous battle plane. In the 1940s, IWC was the official supplier to the Royal Air Force. Designed and manufactured by hand in Switzerland, professional pilots put their trust in IWC. It's time for a barrel roll. The pilot eases nose down for a little extra speed. I picture a 109 closing on our tail. IWC, since 1868 and for as long as there are men, I am the Mark 15 Spitfire watch, and I say a lot about you.
See what a new watch can say about you at Tourno, the world's largest watch store since 1900, with over 100 brands and 8,000 styles in all price ranges. Tourno, Madison at 52nd, 7th Avenue and 34th Street, the World Trade Center, Roosevelt Field, Long Island, and the Tourno Time Machine, 57th Street at Madison.
Well, the other tower just blew up. I mean, a huge hole just blew up in the other tower, the tower that the plane flew in. There's a huge hole in that, and then the other World Trade Center tower blew up.
There is another huge area damaged by an explosion on the other tower, not the tower that the aircraft hit, that also appears to range over maybe 15 to 20 stories at the least. Some sort of secondary explosion in the other tower has just occurred.
Are we getting any live feed? What kind of live feed are we getting from Channel 4? Is there anything you can pick up from anybody? So look at that, Charles. Look. Well, you can see it blow.
Yeah.
They're showing a replay of it blowing up.
Of the secondary explosion in the other tower. It's absolutely.
If you just turned your radio or television on, the plane has flown into the side of the World Trade Center.
It looks, people are starting to say it could be a terrorist attack.
Well, you would suspect maybe with a secondary explosion in the other tower that was not involved in the initial incident, which is what has been described as some sort of twin-engine plane flying into the north side of Tower 1 of the World Trade Center.
And now the other tower blowing up.
Now the other tower, a massive explosion.
We got Warner back.
Warner?
Yeah, man. The tower on the left that just got it, I didn't hear any airplane. And there's no big hole. I don't think that was a plane.
Well, but there was a huge plume of fire.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Covered nearly 15 or 20 stories. So that appears to be that both towers appear to be on fire.
Both towers are on fire. The one on the right that was hit first was a plane. I mean, you could hear the plane go over and boom. Then the one on the left, which just happened minutes ago, the two holes, I don't think it was a plane. God, I hate to say it. I hate, if I had to guess, I would say it was a bomb. I mean, they just exploded.
Yeah,
the two holes.
It looked at. And how big is the hole on the one on the left?
As the smoke is, oh man, now you can see it's going to be like half the cover of the building, half the front. I'm looking south, So the north side of the buildings are facing me. I'd say it covers half of the left tower. The one on the right is almost the entire tower on the right, the width of the hole.
Well, right now, the Associated Press is saying, although you say you did not see a second airplane,
right?
There is word that a second plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
Yes, one of the networks picked that up before my video. Yeah.
Both towers, they mentioned, are in flames, smoke building, and as many as 6 deaths reported right now.
Oh man, I never heard the second plane.
If in fact there was one.
Oh God, this is you can see the debris falling. Oh, this is terrible.
Oh, there's no, I just saw the plane just fly into it, and it purposely flew into it.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Because I was...
Oh, man. Well, it wasn't a jet. It was probably just a prop. Oh.
So clearly a terrorist attack. You would assume at this point.
Assume a terrorist attack.
You have to assume it. Oh, man.
2 airplanes have flown into the World Trade Center in New York City, striking each tower.
Well, that is...
My God.
What are they saying on MSNBC? Can we pick that up audio?
Seriously, U.S. government facilities worldwide remain at a heightened state of alert. Now, you'll remember that when the World Trade Center explosion happened back in 1993, this was linked to Osama bin Laden's terrorist network.
World Trade Center has 7 high-rise buildings, a shopping mall, several levels of underground parking, and if this was a terrorist attack, it was timed at a moment on the East Coast shortly before 9 o'clock, where there would have been a great many people inside these 2 buildings. There you see the second attack, the plane coming in, exploding in the second tower. There would have been a great many people inside these 2 towers who no doubt lost their lives. Not to mention the debris raining down on people below. A very busy area, the southern part of Manhattan during rush hour. We do not have any reports of injuries or deaths, but surely that will be coming to us very shortly. Lester? Lester?
All right, what I want to do is take a look at that airplane in slow motion. It looks like a jet aircraft. There it is, frozen. Clearly a low-wing airplane. Looks to be a swept wing, which indicates a jet, and it looks like a sizable jet, perhaps an airliner or a commuter jet. Can we roll it just a little bit here? Okay, freeze it right there if you can. Clearly that is a swept-wing jet, which means a passenger-sized jet of some kind, which leads to all kinds of questions. Now, airliners, are on radar. They have transponders that allow the controllers to not only see where the airplane is, the altitude, its flight number. A plane that would be flying in controlled airspace that would not be responding to controllers would be a source of concern, but frankly, there's nothing they can do about it. They could violate the pilot, they could fine him, all those sorts of things, but a determined pilot willing to do something, there is nothing they can do about it. Can we zoom in on the airplane now, digitally? Let's see if we can get a little closer look. But this clearly looks like, and I'm just from this angle, a 737, perhaps an A319 size airplane that looks very much like either a 737 or an A320, a plane that would carry over 100 passengers. Now, from the direction it's coming, we know Newark Airport is just about 10 miles from the west of this. LaGuardia is another 10 or 12 miles to the east, but this plane is coming east across the Hudson River as it makes its approach. That is clearly, from the indications I'm looking at, is a small jet, small airliner-sized jet. Looks to me either an A320 or a 737-sized airplane. Unable to, of course, make out any markings, an airline or that, but again, there is nothing controllers could do if a maverick pilot decided to leave his flight plan, decided to leave his course, and make a suicide plunge like we have witnessed here. We don't know. Witnesses who saw the initial hit of the airplane said it was also a twin-engine airplane. Some discrepancies as to the size. Some believe it was a small commuter-sized plane. This plane you're looking at is the one we saw hit the second tower a short time ago. And from every indication in this shot that we have pushed in on digitally here, it is clearly, you see the upward swing of the wings. It's a swept wing, a jet design, two large, like high bypass engines underneath.
Susan Waldman is, where are you, Susan?
I'm on the Triborough Bridge, Don, and I was on the Bruckner when the second plane just hit. So I really had a bird's eye view of this. I saw the fireball from the first plane and then turned on the radio, and as I was driving on the Bruckner trying to get to the bridge, I saw, it looked like a twin-engine plane come over the Hudson River and go right at the other tower. So I saw that, and the smoke is now just streaming towards Brooklyn. The Triborough Bridge obviously is just at a standstill and backed up as police cars are going through, but I actually saw, it looked like a big plane, and I'm not an expert at planes, but it looked like a pretty decent-sized plane come from the Hudson River side and go straight into the second tower.
Did it look like a jet?
It looked like I saw two engines. It looked like a big plane. I'm not a big plane person.
Right.
It didn't look like a little tiny Cessna jet, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. And both towers are on fire now.
Both towers are on fire. It's all black smoke now. As I was on the Bruckner before the second plane hit, I did see the fireball from that first plane that was hit, and then I saw this plane come across and hit the second tower.
Where are you right now?
I'm right on top of the Triborough Bridge.
And it's all stopped?
And it's all, well, it's moving slowly, but we're moving over to the sides for police cars obviously are trying to get through here. But what I can see right now is just total black smoke billowing out of the World Trade Center and just sort of floating towards Brooklyn. And we're obviously moving very, very slowly. Excuse me, I'm shaking here.
As Lester Holt was saying, if in fact that it appeared to him to possibly be a 737, there is now an indication from the Associated Press that the FBI is investigating reports of an aircraft hijacking just before this World Trade Center disaster occurred. If in fact it was an airplane coming out of Newark Airport or one of the local airports that had been taken over by a hijacker, at least that is plausible at this point, and the FBI is said to be investigating that possibility right now.
All right, Susan, thank you very much. Take care of yourself.
Okay, John. Thanks.
Susan Waldman is there on the Triborough Bridge. I guess they're moving a little bit,
but this is stunning. Yeah, I mean, and the implications are just unimaginable at this point.
Well, I mean, it's there's no way to even describe
it.
When we have the actual video we're watching on MSNBC of the, you can see the plane fly into the World Trade Center.
Of the second aircraft approached the World Trade Center from over the Hudson River. And the film that if you haven't seen, you will see later today sometime, you are seeing the back part of the explosion occur. The plane hits the other side of the World Trade Center, and the burst you see coming through is on this side, meaning that the explosion just erupted all through those floors of the building and came out the back.
All right.
No, there's I don't know. And now report that the FBI is investigating the possibility of a plane having been hijacked.
All right, well, we'll stay on top of this. So.
Imus in the morning.
How may I help you?
I'm a product announcement, and I'm very late getting to our web. Per-check fees for 1 year from date account is open. People's Bank. Member FDIC. Offer ends October 27th.
I'm Lori McNichol for the Mohegan Sun Fan Highway Patrol, where the whole lower Manhattan area is at a standstill. The inbound Battery Tunnel is not moving. FDR Drive also not moving from 14th Street all the way down. Subways E, R, N, and 6 trains not stopping in the World Trade Center area, and that includes Rector Street, Triborough, crawling in all directions, 30 minutes inbound at the Holland Tunnel, 45 minutes at the inbound Lincoln, and 20 to both decks at the inbound George Washington Bridge. The eye forecast for today, sunshine and a high of about 82. The low tonight about 60, and right now it is 70 degrees. This report's brought to you by Panasonic. Panasonic invites you to experience the brilliance and clarity of high-definition television. But be warned, you'll never be satisfied with regular TV again. HD TV, made possible by Panasonic. Now at The Wiz. I'm Lori McNichol for the Mohegan Sun Fan Highway Patrol.
On the next Sopranos, the former head of the First Family investigates the possibility of returning to power.
Enough already. I gave him a chance, but Uncle Junior Bush just ain't getting it done. I mean, he's worried about illiteracy. He can't even read Curious George without moving his f***ing lips. He thinks stem cells are where flowers go to jail.
But there's a little thing called the Constitution standing in the way.
22nd Amendment don't make me laugh. There ain't a law in the books I couldn't find a loophole for. And the same goes for this only 2 terms bullshit. By the time I'm done, not only will the 22nd Amendment be repealed, I'll have them get rid of the 19th, too. That'll make my old lady happy, huh? Sorry, sweetheart, but women can't vote no more. Now go back in the kitchen and stir the sauce, you skank.
Meanwhile, he finds himself missing his only daughter.
Why she's got to go get her master's at Oxford, I don't know. I mean, it ain't like she's going to get drafted.
And so he mulls over an offer from the heads of the royal family.
Let me get this straight. You want me to come over there and help you bring back tourism because everybody's staying away, scared of mad cow disease? Why? Because I'm married to a mad cow?
But then, a bombshell. Newsweek prints excerpts from a new book suggesting that if Consigliere Sauter had one more day to plead his case, the new boss might not have been Uncle Junior Bush.
And Tony Kennedy, if Davy the Forehead had his way, Allie would have been the maid guy instead of being passed over for that numbnuts Georgie B. I'm telling you, leave it to a Kennedy to things up.
The Sopranos, just your average dysfunctional criminal family.
Hey, Hillary, I just got off the phone with our daughter in England. She says they named a disease after you over there.
Well, I was out of the room, so we had to go to that. It's 23 after the hour. Let's go back to Warner Wolf. Warner?
Yeah, man.
So what do you see now?
I'm looking out my window south, and I see the north side, the tower on the right, which was hit first. It's just a gigantic hole. It's closer to the top than the tower that was hit on the left.
Right.
And the smoke is, that's the thing. There's people in there that God's sakes, the smoke will kill them. It's horrible. And the smoke is just rising up, especially the tower on the left. And the hole, now you can see that smoke is diminished a little, the tower on the right. You can see the hole. It's like two monster holes with a little partition in the middle. And the one on the left, it's harder to see because the smoke is still bellowing up. But it's, oh God, and then the fire is still on the left. The one on the right, you can't see fire on the right, but the one on the left, you can still see the fire. And of course, you know that besides all the businesses, it's also the mass transit. You have the subway in there. I've taken that many times. This is horrible.
And then they actually have footage of the plane flying into the other World Trade Center, and we saw that. And there's a tremendous television here. What they're doing.
We have standing by on the phone Joe Cantamesa, former lead investigator for the attack on the World Trade Center in 1990.